And the truth is, all these people who are in this vortex, if they went to someone outside of the vortex and told them, this is my hobby, this is what I do for fun, these people would stare at you like a deer in headlights and be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you insane?
Is that true? Maybe. I might have hinted or told a couple people that I make these kind of videos, but like, it's my own thing. Why do I have to tell everybody? It's not like this is my job where I'm 42 years old and I build Legos on stream. Can you imagine you go up to somebody who's outside of your streams and you go, oh yeah, I'm a content creator. What do you do? Oh, you know, I have a wrestling show. I build Legos. You know, I have tip goals and I do marathons and stuff where I get drunk every $100 for tips. And you know, I've had some viral moments and stuff. Like I jerked off on stream, but like not what you think. It was an accident. It was like that's more embarrassing than saying what I do by far. I'm sorry. Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm gonna keep this brief. We're gonna get right into the video. Darkside made some comments today. I just want to address him. I want to clap back because he says a lot of shit and a lot of it was to try to pigmatize his audience. Let's break down the bullshit. Let's get into it.
There's no one who is universally hated who can be successful. You understand that people who are even, if you're universally hated, you're going to actually fail in life.
Well, Philip, what about you? You're universally hated. Especially after recently, but you make money off of being universally hated. You know you're universally hated. More people, quote unquote, hate watch you, as you just said, than actually like you. You have a way larger audience of people that show up when it's a troll or a detractor stream, or there's some drama going on and you're getting dumped on. Your numbers boost up. So you're universally hated. Just because you got a couple hundred people doesn't mean you're not universally hated. Even Hitler had people that liked him. And he's universally hated.
There's people who like people. You know what I'm saying? It's the people who actually like those creators or people who are supporting them who let them keep going. So what you're saying has no merits. There's no inevitable fall of anyone, all right, at all. You just sitting around waiting for that moment that may or may not ever happen is stupid. It's a complete waste of time. Maybe if something did happen, you heard of it, and then you went to watch, that would make sense. But literally sitting there every single day, wasting your time away, and the person isn't failing, and then you got to sit there and you got to stew about it, and you're angry about it, and you're jealous, and you're upset, and you're just so, why would that be a good use of your life?
Okay, so there's definitely some self-reflection here. Just because we like to watch bad things happen to Darkside Phil because we think he's a bad person, and when they don't happen, doesn't mean we're all seething and upset. We move on with our lives. Everybody else has their own life going on, but every so often we all like to come tune in to see what's going on with Darkside Phil, how his disaster of a life is going. Just because you feel that way about other people doesn't mean that's the universally agreed upon opinion. I don't think most people feel that way. Yeah, we love to see when Darkside Phil takes an L. I think everybody does. You're universally hated. So when that happens, everybody celebrates. But when you have a good stream, yeah, sure. There's a lot of people that's like, damn, he hit his goal. Like, it would have been nice to see him seethe and cope about not hitting today's goal or not getting his bangers and mash. But we're not going to go kick our feet on the ground because that didn't happen. Most people are normal people, and I don't think he realizes that because he doesn't interact with normal people. He doesn't interact with anybody. So how can he provide insight on an opinion about how people feel when he doesn't interact with people at all? Right here, aside from Kino Casino and the 1 or 2 interviews he has that's always awkward because he doesn't interact with people on a daily basis, this chat right here is his interaction for the day. They don't talk back to you. You're not interacting with them the way that you think you are in a setting with social norms and other human beings present.
You have one life on Earth. That's it. You're not getting extra chances. There's no extra lives. There's no redos. You have one life on this planet to make the best of. Do you understand that? And if you're just going to sit there and be angry about others rather than focusing on yourself, you've missed the point. The script has eluded you.
How are you going to tell other people this stuff when this is the way that you feel about things? You hate watching. You say all these things. You even say, I'm a hater, I'm a hater, I'm a hater. I mean, I'm going to take the most simple example, Minecraft. This guy hated on Minecraft for years. Called it a little kid's game. Said it was stupid. He finally was convinced to play it. and loved the game, played it for a while, and now he's recently even talking about going back to playing Minecraft and going exploring his own world. I'm pretty sure he talked about that on this podcast earlier. So you're the last person that should be giving anybody advice about this stuff when you don't even take it yourself.
You need to focus on you and in doing things that are good for you, meaningful for you. That means building relationships, having meaningful interactions. You know what I'm saying?
But again, these are things that apply to you. You don't build relationships with anybody. You tear them down. You're King Snake. You built up a relationship with Kino Casino in your terms because your whole plan was to turn around and snake them and gain popularity off them. And what's wrong with people such as detractors hanging out in a raw fill chat, commenting on videos, communicating each other, talking about you? These people have something in common and they talk about it together, and that's a love of hating you. People will talk in raw fills chat all day about hating you and get along. So how is that any worse than the stuff that you do? Because you're the greedy one. I'm gonna say he's greedy because even on this stream, he pinned his chats trying to hit his donation goal today, and he's still constantly bringing up, even after he's like, I don't want to talk about support all day, so I'm gonna actually pin this in my chat. Goes on and talks about support 4 or 5 more times. So yeah, people love to hate this greedy snake of a person. What's wrong with that? You love to hate on things. Doesn't make you any better than anybody else, Philip.
That's what you need. Not sitting. I hate watch someone because I want to inevitably see them fall. Are you dumb? Like, come back. If there is a fall, then come back for the fall. Don't just sit there and waste your time.
But this is a part of the fall. The fall doesn't happen instantaneously. We're watching the fall happen. So it's like reality TV. Do you watch the beginning of a reality TV show to see the rise and then come back at the end to see the fall? No, it happens throughout the course of the season.
Because then what happens is people realize that trend and they grift. So now you have the entire vortex of people around me who capitalize on people like you who sadly are weak-minded and don't realize that this is a waste of your time. So they are sucking in your bucks.
So a lot of those people are technically your fans who you've burned bridges with, and you're calling them weak-minded. Okay. But let me make one thing clear. Aside from a couple people, because there's always bad eggs in a bunch, super crazy. There's always bad eggs in a bunch, no matter what you do, no matter what profession, no matter where you are, there's going to be a couple bad influences. Overall, the detractor community makes money off of you, but they don't force people to donate like you do. So I still think you're worse than anything that they can conceive. Yeah, these people make money off of videos with clickbait titles. Yeah, there's PayPal donation links. Yeah, there's other ways to contribute. There's memberships for these people. So what? They don't force it down your throat. And a lot of people would rather give them money because they feel like they're doing a service to these people by donating to them rather than donating to Darkside Phil, because these are the people that are trying to get Darkside Phil off the internet and expose Darkside Phil to the internet for the bad things he does on a daily basis. What's wrong with that?
They are. They're literally sucking in your views and your bucks because you're a sucker's born every minute. And
they're sucking in your views.
Man, do they see you as the mark? You are the mark for them.
So this is that whole reverse psychology. Phil's trying to appeal to the detractor viewers once again, the raw side Phil chatters, and be like, no, they're taking advantage of you. Come on over to this side.
You're watching the restream. You're watching the podcast. You're watching the next piece of hateful content. It's all there just to capitalize on your weakness. And the fact that you can't realize that, they realize you have no self-awareness, and that's why they do it. That's why there's
the guy who has no self-awareness calls people out for having no self-awareness. Wow.
Vortex around DSP. It's not DSP. It's the vortex of people capitalizing on the weak-minded. Because if you really think about it, in the days of stuff like the SOK, right?
Before I get in that, why do you think people are capitalizing on it? Detractors had nothing to talk about, and there was nothing for us to comment on. There's nothing for us to call out, i.e. things that Phil does and Phil's actions. Then we wouldn't capitalize on anything. But you got to act like an idiot every single day, and you got to take advantage of everything you can.
They were not like that. They were just, we don't like Phil, and we hate watch Phil constantly. All right? But no one capitalized on it. No one was making bank. No one was making a living. There was no entire ecosystem based around it. It was just hate watchers. But then what happened is over time, as the hate watching increased, people, the snakes, the fucking, they call them carpetbaggers. They come in and they just sweep up everything that they possibly can immorally because they see an opportunity, right?
What's immoral about people commenting or showing or talking about a Dark Side Phil video and making money on it now? You can make money in commentary and clips and stuff like that all over the internet. I wouldn't say that's immoral. I mean, coming from the guy whose moral compass is literally broken, I don't see the point he's trying to make other than lure these viewers back in that he's lost recently with the whole Kino arc because he's been down bad with these tip goals.
Traditionally, those were people who did it during a war. They would come into your house that got destroyed in a battle before you could even get back because holes in the house from the shells, and they would fucking just take a carpet and bag all your belongings and run out the door. They're the ultimate opportunists. And that's who these people are that you're falling for. All of these people who make this content that's non-tent, it's what is non-tent. There's no content there. It's just people capitalizing on your weak-mindedness to make money on.
Well, Philip, you are the non-tent. Unfortunately, I'm sitting here talking about you and you're calling this non-tent. So what does that mean about your content? I hate to tell you, Phil, but a lot of people like commentary videos. I watch commentary videos all the time. Just because you had a DSP versus the internet and DSP reacts that did horribly because you had bad takes on everything doesn't mean that people don't like it and it's something that you can't capitalize off of. First of all, this guy did a DSP versus the internet show and watched clips all over the internet that people submitted without really crediting anybody or doing anything and capitalized off of it and only stopped capitalizing. That show only stopped because he stopped making money on it because people didn't care about his takes on things. So,
and that's sad that you guys can't just wise up. Listen, if you don't like me, you have the right to not like me. That's fine. But why sit around paying people all day to just say things about me, and then I'm still here and I'm fine?
Because it's entertainment, Phil, because you're a reality TV show. What a weird smile. He threw me off while I was mid-sentence. You are a real-life reality show, and some people have the means to throw money towards this reality show, and when they can throw a wrench in your plans, or they can do something that'll get a rise out of you, for content, for laughs, for even creating internet history. I mean, depending on what it is, some people find enjoyment out of that. And it sucks for you because you're the butt of the joke, but it is what it is, my man. I mean, you put yourself out there like I'm putting myself out there. I'm sure there's people that watch my videos and make fun of me. It is what it is. I've had people comment on my videos say, you're acting like this guy's your friend the way you talk about him, because I've had videos where I've tried to give you advice. And you know what? It's like water off the back of a duck. Is that what you always say? It is what it is, man.
Right? Like, what are you talking about? You want to understand that this is the cycle they've created. It just, but I mean, the insane lack of any kind of self-awareness is wild to me. But then you say, well, Phil's not self-aware. No, Phil knows everything that's going on. At all times, I'm very, very aware of all of this stuff happening.
So if that's the case, why is it when anybody asks you a question about something, you say, I don't know, I haven't looked into that, or I don't really know anything about that. I haven't heard anything about that. I'm going to contradict myself a sec here anyway, and just play devil's advocate and say that Phil does say that stuff. You ask Phil about the Kino Casino drama and the stuff they've been doing to him ever since they all broke up, and he'll go, I don't know anything about that. All I know is everything about it. So he could be right here. He might be keeping up with everything more than we know. And it's just sad. He's just so engrossed in the internet. I mean, this guy sits on his phone at 3, 4 in the morning, typing into Kino Casino chat while his wife's sleeping in bed. And he's 42 years old building Legos.
I just can't believe that people are that dumb. But apparently there's so many dumb people on Earth that you've created a giant ecosystem of this predatory nonsense. And I never was involved in it. At all times, I'm very, very aware of all of this stuff happening. I just can't believe that people are that dumb. But apparently there's so many dumb people on Earth that you've created a giant ecosystem of this predatory nonsense. And I never was involved in it. I never got involved in it. I never sought to be involved in it. That's why I don't talk to detractors. That's why I don't bring them up specifically.
You never wanted to be involved in it. You don't talk to detractors. Weren't there leaks that came out? Kino Casino DMs that you released talking about how you wanted to bring detractors on with Kino and felt them and confront them and stuff like that. Or maybe PPP said that about it and somebody, I'm pretty sure you said that. So are you contradicting yourself here? Are you lying again, Phil? You know that bad no-no thing called a lie that you're not supposed to do? Was this part of your mastermind plan on the arc to say these things and not really mean it, but then go on your podcast a week later and call other people out for it?
Specifically, or their content, there's no point. You guys are being eaten alive, not me. I'm still going to be here making content, being fine. You are the ones who are throwing your time, effort, and lives away, not me. I'm having a great time here every day.
But here's the difference, Phil. You're telling people that they're throwing their time, effort, and lives away because they might watch you for a couple hours. You know, I might sit down and record a video for about 40 minutes, edit it, take another half hour, 45 minutes, edit it, whatever. Drop it on you. Go do my own thing, you know, work my own job, live my own life with my family, like everybody else that is probably in the detractor verse. But you're stuck in it, dude. That's the difference. We move on at the end of the day. We go, we cook dinner, we hang out with our pets, we hang out with our kids, we go out to dinner, we hang out with our friends, we go to the movies, we go to the zoo. You're stuck in it, man. You're stuck in it. You can't leave it. You can't escape it. I could log off the internet right now. I could delete this YouTube channel and it would be the end of it for me. You're stuck in it, bro. You're 42 years old. It's hard for you to start over at this point. You know you're hard to employ. So whether you like it or not, you have to be doing this same thing, and you have to tell people that you like it, because you even know it would be a bad look for you to sit here and be like, guys, I hate doing this. I really don't want to do this anymore, but I'm kind of stuck. I'm 42 years old. I don't know what to do. Like, that's something you would never admit, but we all know it's true. Listen, I've worked shitty jobs. I've worked jobs I hated, and I know what it's like to want to take a bathroom break every 15 minutes, to go in late, to leave early, to use sick time. Phil takes advantage of all that shit as much as he can. Maybe not the sick time stuff because he needs that money to live. He knows that if he doesn't stream 6 days a week, he's fucked. But he knows he can hit start on that stream, go and take a dump and jerk off for 20 minutes and come back, be 20 minutes late, blame it on tech problems, and start a stream and know that, hey, I'm already 20 minutes into my workday. Cool. Now I just have to get to 7 o'clock so I can clock out of here and get the hell out. We know that's the case for you. I don't think anybody's believing this lie that you're trying to spread here about you love it and people are wasting their entire day on you. Am I saying that there's people that might waste an entire day on DSP? Yeah, maybe they got a love for hating you like you got a love for hating almost everything and everybody.
Excuse me. So, Mr. Salas did a $100 Mexican peso super chat. Well, I hope this helps get to the goal. Nice meeting you. Even if it sounds like I got trolled. Yeah, you must have got trolled. I've never heard of you, Mr. Salas. Seriously, I've never heard of you. And I wish you the best. Sorry that you got messed around with by some people, I guess. Thanks for the super chat. Okay. And I know from yesterday, that's about $5 because we had a Mexican super chat yesterday. So we'll count that as 5. So thank you there. And then we have Bobby. Bobby Padlock just became a member at the standard level, and that's 3. So we're at $39 of support. We got a few minutes left on the podcast. Any final topics you guys want to talk about, please tag me.
I got one for you. I see Darkside dabbing in your chat. He was in Kino Casino chat ragging on you. I think this was yesterday that he was doing that. And you'd mentioned calling him out, asking if he was doing that in your chat. But you said, I don't know, I'm not there. You know, Phil, you can look at kickchatlogs.com and see if this guy's talking trash behind your back. You can search his name up on the Kino Casino channel. But it's like, you already know you're so pathetic. You're going to keep these people as your moderator, as your fans that are shitting on you because you got nothing else. You're a slave to the game, man. You're a slave to the game. You can't quit it no matter what.
Could I argue the same about my content? Well, Mortarian, here's the thing. My content isn't predatory. My content is not harmful or negative in any way, right?
Wow. It's not predatory. So you making people feel bad and telling them that they need to donate so that your wife doesn't have to cook when she comes home from work isn't predatory? So you telling people that you need to hit this goal so that you can pay your bills and do your taxes. Maybe more recently you don't do some of those things, but you mask it under different things like goals, like hitting marathon rewards, like let's hit 80 goals. It's not that much different. You just have a ruse. You mask it behind this content or this non-tent that you provide. So you don't think it's predatory to constantly bring up getting people to donate so you can do a marathon stream this weekend as a reward for these people. Then when the marathon stream comes, you beg for more money from these people so you can get drunk and you can get a buzz. Guys, I'm not buzzed. Somebody needs to donate some more money. It's not predatory when somebody donates $2 and you say something like, guys, we really need big support if we're expecting to hit this goal. Every tactic you have is predatory in one way or another. You just don't realize it, or you just can't accept the fact that you're masking it behind something else.
People find value in my content. All right? If you like the content you see here, if you like me talking about games, about topics, reacting to people, playing games and the like, you support the content and you know you're going to get more of it. And now, as you guys have seen in the last, 8+ months, if I actually get significant support to the point where I can actually do things like solid improvements. I'm trying to turn my camera off because it started, like it's being stupid. Stop. Yeah, well.
So this camera is a solid improvement for Phil's stream, right? But why is it more often than not, he runs into issues with all these improvements that he's done and he ruins all of his content because of it? It's every day that something's wrong in his setup and he has to take several minutes to fix it, depending on what it is, or longer. That's harmful to his content, but these are quote unquote improvements in his eyes. The RGB lighting, the signs in the back.
Don't even stop now. Now it's all screwed up. There we go. You see that I reinvest. I'm constantly reinvesting now, right? Every show I do, I'm buying cards for smart guys. I'm going to buy a new Lego set for the Lego stuff. I'm adding to my setup. I'm buying games constantly. Like I'm
You can hardly call some of those things reinvesting. You bought a pack of trading cards for what, like $50? With 8 packs in there that you're opening for $100 each. That's not reinvesting, Phil. You're not reinvesting money into trading cards. You're making money off of these trading cards that you're buying. It's not reinvesting. It's predatory to say that, actually.
Reinvesting everything you're giving me into the business to make the content better. That was always the excuse previously, was Phil just pockets all the money and runs. Well, now I don't do that. I'm actually reinvesting.
But who the hell told you to reinvest some giant dong hanging in front of your face of a microphone and think that that's a worthy investment for your business? You did. Your fans didn't ask for a new microphone. Your fans didn't ask you to buy a boom arm and think it would be a better setup for you. Your fans didn't say, get a shotgun mic. Maybe you're reinvesting in the wrong areas.
So then it's the next thing. Do you see the point? My content is content that is not harmful to anyone, is genuine content. I'm making the content for the sake of enjoying what I'm talking about. I have passion for it. I like what I do.
But wouldn't your content be harmful to PPP? You kicked him off the show. I mean, if he's invested his time and effort into trying to help you, and you can't even deny that Kino Casino hasn't helped you in the past 6 months. You've even said that you're grateful for it because your goals used to be $50 and now they're $150. You've got all this stuff in your background that happened after the Kino arc. But because the guy said that your wife's fat and you've already known this, you've already continued to do work with him after this is said and done. He's already taken jabs at your wife. But suddenly, out of nowhere, he's not allowed to do it anymore and you cut him off from your content. You kicked him off your show. I mean, I would argue that it's more harmful for Phil because you can see since he's lost Kino Casino, his hit goals for like, what, 1 out of the last 4 streams he's done or something like that?
It's not, let's dump on someone else's content toxically. It's let's just do productive stuff that doesn't hurt anyone.
But you do that to detractors. You did it to Rich when you went on Kino Casino. You do it to Kino Casino now. I mean, you dump on everybody's content that's not yours. You dump on Lex. You didn't even watch Lex's content. But here she is. She's a squat streamer and she's a S-word, you know?
That's the difference. Everyone has a right to support the content they like, but the difference is, well, someday this person who I've been conditioned to not like is going to have a downfall, so let me continuously hate watch them and throw money to people who say that they're bad. You've wasted your entire life. Every moment you've done that has been a waste. You could have been doing productive, positive things with your life.
This is such a cope, dude. Because he knows that the money isn't coming in like it used to. He knows he lost crucial fans recently. He knows he's been banning the hell out of everybody. He knows that he's a DM leaker. He knows he's on that slope down now. He's like the golden arches at McDonald's. He had this come up, and then it just went doop, and then maybe a little more resurgence, and then it just went doop. This guy's whole arc has been like a fucking McDonald's arch. It just went right back down to where he was.
And instead you threw your time and money away. What's wrong with you? And the truth is, all these people who are in this vortex, if they went to someone outside of the vortex and told them, this is my hobby, this is what I do for fun, these people would stare at you like a deer in headlights and be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you insane?
Is that true? Maybe. I might have hinted or told a couple people that I make these kind of videos, but like, it's my own thing. Why do I have to tell everybody? It's not like this is my job where I'm 42 years old and I build Legos on stream. Can you imagine you go up to somebody who's outside of your streams and you go, oh yeah, I'm a content creator. What do you do? Oh, you know, I have a wrestling show. I build Legos. You know, I have tip goals and I do marathons and stuff where I get drunk every $100 for tips. And you know, I've had some viral moments and stuff. Like I jerked off on stream, but like not what you think. It was an accident. It was like that's more embarrassing than saying what I do by far. I'm sorry. Like most detractors, we all got jobs, dude. We all got lives outside of this. This isn't our whole bubble of life, like Philip.
Because it happens every day. If these people don't realize that they think what they're doing is funny or righteous or justice, and then you say it to an outsider and they look at you like, you're fucking insane. You're legitimately nuts.
But like, these are things that I like to do on my own time, right? I don't go and ask my friends, what do you do alone? What do you do when you're alone? What do you like to do in your own time? This is my hobby. I enjoy watching reality TV on the internet, AKA Dark Side Phil. Are you going to say that to a woman like who watches Keeping Up with the Kardashians or something like that, that she's wasting her time and it should be embarrassing? Nah, it's a horrible example, but whatever. You know what I'm saying.
You don't know what you're doing with your life. What is wrong with you? But people don't want to leave the vortex because once they're in it, they feel at home and they feel safe, right? Ooh.
That's a weird statement to make, but it is true. We do get sucked into it because it's just like a train wreck waiting to happen. You can't look away.
I'm in this vortex of everyone who's of like mind, who just is toxic towards Dark Side Phil. This is so good. We can all have this groupthink mentality. No, you want to know who needs a groupthink mentality? Someone who has no fucking individuality, purpose, or power to do anything for themselves in life. They need to be told what to do, so then they feel like they're doing something in a group. You know, like the Swifties who need to be part of a group. Well, you're part of the DSP hate mob. You're the same.
Glad to be here, y'all. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're not an individual. You're just one of a drop in a bucket of people who are nuts. And it's getting worse.
It is. I mean, I wouldn't say worse, but it's getting worse in the sense that like there's more and more people than ever, I think. But like, you're just a drop in the bucket of content creators. It's worse for you because you're like at the bottom of the totem pole, whereas there's actually people who are making money in content creation who can take sponsors and actually make it successful. There's a big difference between you and a successful content creator.
And I have nothing to do with it. And one day, something crazy is going to happen, and I'm not going to be involved with it. I've already disavowed all this shit. This is why so many people, why don't you just buy into it? Why don't you, be a part of it, engage your detractors? Because I'm not going to be responsible, man.
I wouldn't want that on my worst enemy. Can you imagine Phil being in drama content like this? Oh my God. There'd be bodies in the streets. He'd be stepping over. Wait. Didn't he say that? And then do drama? Like a Kino expose stream recently where he tried to dip his feet back in drama and got completely obliterated? Didn't he have RTU on the other day, who was supposed to be his biggest guest ever to snake Kino Casino and not even make $150 or reach his goal? Maybe it's a dream. I don't know. Maybe I'm dreaming.
I'm not going to be responsible when this shit hits the fan. I'm going to stay out of it.
Phil, you've never been responsible for anything in your life. I'm just going to like make up a story, a hypothetical. You could have like, I don't know, let's say like a pet rabbit. All right. You leave the pet rabbit outside overnight in the cold and it dies. And you're like, I can't be responsible for that. It has a mind of its own. It could have found somewhere to sleep that's warm. It's not my responsibility. I mean, that's how Phil copes with everything. It's the rabbit's fault that it died outside. It should have figured out how to get back in or make its own home or find a way to get warm.
I'm like, I was doing my own thing. I was sitting here literally just playing a game, chilling on a podcast, enjoying life, and they went off the deep end. And it wasn't me involved, Every one of these people who do this shit are going to get exposed, and it ain't even going to be me who does it. Take a look at Super Crazy. The guy's fucking name was Super Crazy, and people were so dumb, they gave the guy money because he said he was going to try to sue me for something he couldn't possibly sue me for because it was all a fairy tale fake. And they gave the guy thousands of dollars. He is the first example of how this thing will continue on over time. These are just opportunists. They're not people who know what the fuck they're doing. They don't care about.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I mentioned Super Crazy, because the fact that he's bringing him up, we've already knocked that ballpark. There's bad eggs, whatever. Get the bad eggs out of here. But talk about opportunists, like the type of opportunists that would try to befriend a really popular show on Kick and say that he was trying to befriend them the whole time because he knew it wouldn't last, and he was trying to snake them to try to get as much as he could out of them, just for it to blow up in his face and lose mostly everything that he's worked towards while working with them. Seems like a failed opportunist, actually.
Anyone in this community. They're just here to suck your money and time. They're like leeches, vipers, vampires. You don't get it.
If I don't get it, I don't want to get it.
No, you see, but that's the thing, Mortarian. It's not content. He says, but they're just enjoying content like people enjoy yours. But it's not content. It's non-tent. It's mostly fabricated, mostly extrapolated, mostly over-exaggerated. It's just not real.
How is it fabricated? It's literally clips of stuff that you're doing. I love how he calls his own content non-tent, because that's literally what the detractors are doing, is watching his content. So it's non-tent. Just because somebody's reacting and talking about stuff that you're saying on your stream or doing on your stream, regular commentary stuff. The fact that the guy who they're reacting to is calling it non-tent says a lot about how he feels about his own content.
Fake content every day. Phil farted on stream. Here's 17 videos about it. That's not content. That's doofus level stuff. There's no validity to it. And it's toxic, and it's not truthful. You know what I'm saying? Like, the stuff that they're saying is actually harmful content. Now,
it's harmful because it affects the way that you operate your business. Is it not truthful? Well, I don't know how you could perceive it that way. And I would say that's very subjective, because the things that I say about your content seem more logical than the things that you're saying about detractors. Like, my response to you would probably sound more logical to the average person than the stuff that you're saying right now, given your history and given what just happened to you this past week. I think that many people would side with the person who is breaking down your nonsense logically.
luckily, I've now been through it for so long that it doesn't really affect me. You know what I'm saying? Roy did a $10 super chat. He says, most of these YouTubers never had a professional career before going into YouTube. They don't have morals, ethics, or understand any kind of etiquette. Feel pity for those people that are snakes.
But that's Darkside Phil. He's talking about Darkside Phil. He's literally talking about Darkside Phil. I don't care what helicopter company that Darkside Phil claims to have worked at. I'm pretty sure he got fired from every job that he's ever had. I'm not stating that as a fact, but he's never had a professional career, and it shows.
Feel pity for people that are snakes? I don't feel pity because I feel the people that are the snakes, the ones who are controlling these
The people that are the snakes are, you just hold a fucking mirror up, Phil, you'll see a snake.
Communities are pretty underhanded scumbags. Like they know exactly what they're doing. It's not like, oh, I stumbled into it, I didn't realize. No, they know exactly what they're doing, and they don't care. They have no morals. They have no values.
So they're smarter than you.
I mean, you've got Kino Casino, who, again, pretended to be friendly with me, which everyone knew was fake from the beginning, including me, and rode with content until it wasn't working anymore because they had no original ideas that would work and they had no clout to make anything happen.
Oh, shut up, dude. These guys try to do more for you than anybody's ever done in your life. And this is your way to cope because you couldn't get out of your little bubble and work with them. It's clear that PPP was getting more and more frustrated as the weeks went on, watching Smart Guys. The underhanded remarks that he would make got worse and worse. You could tell he was just done with the whole thing. And this isn't coming from somebody. I don't watch Kino Casino. I watched the Girl Phil segments on Smart Guys. I understood the assignment.
So they just went back to their old shtick of dumping on Phil. But that was their plan from day one, was always capitalize on the detractors.
This guy offered you an opportunity where he was going to pay for you to fly out with your wife to do content with them. hang out in real life. You could have human interaction and you could go spend time with your wife and go do something different. And you couldn't be bothered to take them up on a once in a lifetime opportunity for a guy who's been married for, I don't know, what is it? 8 years, 7 years, 6 years, something like that. And he's never left his house overnight with his wife. They've never gone out somewhere to do something. Like, can you imagine? He's got no friends. So it's not like he'd go to like a wedding and stay somewhere overnight for a friend's wedding, like a hotel or something like that. These guys, he does nothing. He tries to do nothing with his wife. He doesn't come up with solutions. He comes up with excuses as to why he can't do anything.
Literally was their plan day one. They even said it in the fucking DMs that you guys can publicly read. Said it over and over. We're going to get these detractors. We're going to get their money. We're going to get their views. They've said it since day one. Yet right now, those detractors are so stupid, they're watching casino content and they're giving them money. That's how dumb they are.
But that's because they're dumping on Phil, and Phil's the dumb one. So everybody's going to watch Kino Casino right now because they played you so hard that you thought these guys were actually your friends, that were actually like, hey man, even if all our content ended today, we'd still be best bros. You really thought that, but you couldn't be bothered to reciprocate a friendship with them. It's clear with the DMs that everything was what PPP said. What about me? What can you do for me? Just because these guys are reaching down to give you a hand to pick you up doesn't mean you don't have to help them back, and you shouldn't feel grateful and you shouldn't do something for them. Did you ever send them anything when you were friends? You ever just like decide, hey, PPP, what's your address? I want to send you something. Even a thank you card. You know, you've really helped revitalize my career. No. He sent a fucking little message to PPP like, I don't care. Like, this means nothing to me coming from Darkside Phil. The guy lies about the pajamas he wore yesterday. Like, this doesn't mean anything to me.
Literally in black and white was exposed that this was their plan all along, to milk them. And they're saying, okay, let's be milked. You can't, that's what I mean. When I call these people dumb, they really are. Like, there's no self-awareness there to realize this was the scam all along, and you're just falling for it hook, line, and sinker. They're that stupid.
But isn't that reality TV? Even if there are truth in a lot of these reality TV shows, a lot of it's scripted. Is this scripted? I don't know. You could still be hanging out with PPP and talking behind the scenes. I doubt it. It seems pretty genuine to me, but we're all here for the ride because this is the moment that people have been waiting on. I mean, does a regular reality TV show not have a roller coaster of drama? Are there not high points in a reality show? Does drama itself not have its highs and lows? Of course it does. But just because those guys are getting money and views from people doesn't mean everybody who is a detractor is an idiot. Hey, PPP, take $100 from me. PPP, take all my money. I'm going to open up my wallet. No, I haven't donated anything to anybody. For me, this is entertainment. For most of us, this is entertainment. Sure, if I had hundreds of thousands of dollars and I could just throw my money away, yeah, maybe I'd donate some money to them, get a couple laughs, throw in a fucking super chat and watch them laugh at the super chat that I, try to crack a joke in a super chat and throw it their way. Yeah, sure. But that's not me, and that's not all of us. We're here for the ride, dude. And the only person who's looking dumb here is you. You
don't even know what you're saying. I'm just going to get rid of these idiots who just, again, people are so dumb. They say the dumbest shit. So there's no point in even addressing what they're saying. If you were just given all of these logs and you read through them and you came to these conclusions and you're that stupid, I'm not going to waste time addressing you. Really?
I think most people came to the conclusion that you snaked your wife several times and threw your wife and your parents under the bus. In your words, because PPP and Andy were trying to do things that you didn't want to do, and that was your way to get out of them. Your way to get out of things with these guys were to blame your wife being sick and blame your mom dying. You've got no respect from anybody, given that simple fact that you'll do whatever you can. You'll throw anybody under the bus, and it shows. You've already proven it. You'll throw anybody under the bus besides yourself to save yourself. If this was the Titanic sinking right now and everybody was waiting for the lifeboats and they were like, women and children first, and your mom and Kat were waiting in line, you'd push them out of the way so you could jump on that boat. You wouldn't even let anybody else get on. You'd cut the line so that boat goes in the water with just you on it. That's Darkside Phil. And I'm going to leave it at that. I think Phil tries to say a lot, but nothing comes out. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed. I sure did. Just wanted to respond to some of this nonsense that he likes to spew to his audience. So if you happen to be one of the few people in his audience that click on this video, I hope you understand the logic a little bit now and this narrative that Phil's pushing. As for the rest of us, it's just another day. Hope you all enjoyed the commentary. Peace.